Hello, my name is Joe. This is my first time streaming games, and I thought I'd share with the community my unique take on how I play the games. I'm not sure if it's unique, but unique in the sense that I don't see any other streamers doing it. It's a little take on the way Ron Juckett streams his games where he has a simulation up. Just that I'll do a different twist and I'll be rolling the dice off camera. So the interface I'll be using to keep all the score is PC Replay Baseball. Simply the best in terms of capturing data, and I'll show you more of the features in a minute. Off camera, I'm playing Inside Pitch Baseball, which is one of my favorite games, right up there with Payoff Pitch Baseball, in my opinion. There are no two games like it, but for the purpose of this replay season, I will be doing the 1959 season. Let me show you around. Let me show you around the interface before I get going. So right now, again, I'm playing every single game for every single team for the 1959 season. It's a season that intrigues me because of the Go-Go White Sox, and it has a kind of a fun take in that there's some good pitching, lots of homers, and a mix of high-scoring games and low-scoring games. I'll show you where I am so far in the standings. I'm again on May 8th, and I've already played 9 of the 13 games. Today we'll feature the Baltimore Orioles at the Chicago White Sox. But let me show you the standings so far. The Boston Red Sox are the league leaders so far in the American League with a 12-3 record, followed by today's Orioles. And you'll see here the results to date. And on the right-hand side, you'll see what the results are in the season. Trailing the pack, no surprise, are the Kansas City Athletics and the Washington Senators. I almost said Redskins. In the National League, the Dodgers are the leaders, which lines up in real life where the Dodgers were actually the National League pennant winners. Let's look at some of the league leaders. So if we look at the league leaders, in the American League, Sherm Lawler of the White Sox is the batting leader with a .424 batting average, followed by Bobby Richardson of the Yankees. The home run leader is Gus Triandos, the star catcher of the Orioles, and you'll see all the other major statistics that are recorded here, including some of the dubious ones like strikeouts and ground out double plays and other types of statistics. In the National League, the batting leaders are the two Dicks, Dick Stewart and Dick Groat of the Pirates, who are off to a fast start. Both are flirting with 400. Let's see how it goes. The home run leader is Dick Stewart. He's off to a ridiculous pace. We'll see how it goes throughout the season. Not surprisingly, Ernie Banks and Willie Mays are not far behind. Again, I'll show you the other statistics. Orlando Cepeda is the stolen base leader in the early going. And the sacrifice hits are here. I love playing games where pitchers hit. I find today's game unwatchable with 14 pitchers, 13 pitchers in a 25-man roster. So I like to go back to these older seasons to replay. Let's look at the American League. There we go. The American League. The pitching ERA leader so far is Jerry Cazal and Ton Ferraris. Wins leader is Ike DeLocke, all by himself, with 4 wins in the early going. And here are the other statistics. And you'll see the losses here. Again, it even shows dubious statistics like most losses and most home runs given up. Now we'll go to the National League pitching. Don Newcomb is the ERA leader with a 1.19 ERA. The wins leaders are Bob Friend and Don Drysdale. Johnny Antonelli and Sam Jones are not far behind. A saves leader, we have 3 so far. Clem Levine, Don Elston, and Turk Farrell, with all tied with 3. Another fun thing about this is the highlights. So you'll see it has the different highlights for the season. I'll show you some of the Grand Slams. So far this year, we've had 5 Grand Slams, 2 of which were hit by Gus Triandos. And you'll see where they were hit, the game, and if you click on it, it'll bring you right to the box score of where it occurred. Absolutely fantastic. We've had no hitters so far. However, we've had 2 one-hitters. So Jerry Casale had the first one on April 15th, where the Red Sox walloped the Senators 10-0. And ironically, the second one-hitter of the season was also against the Senators, where Mil Pappas tossed a sparkling one-hitter. If we look at complete game shutouts, there were a whole bunch of them, as you can see. And you see, if I scroll down, there were a whole bunch of them. And if you want, again, you just click on them and you could see the box score of them. So that's, in a nutshell, what I am using in terms of another great feature is the stats feature. So here you will see team batting, and you could sort it by either batting average. So you could see the major's best hitting team is the Pittsburgh Pirates. And if we click on home runs, the Dodgers have hit the most home runs, and the Milwaukee Braves have hit the fewest with only 7 in 16 games, which explains why they're off to such a slow pace. So again, let's go back to the schedule. Let me show you another really fantastic feature on this. So if we go to the Replay Daily tab, you will see the play of the day, the game of the day. You will see what is going on for that day, and you can click on each of the box scores. Here, there are none here. However, I'll show you a different one. If we go to May 8th, for example, you see in the roster movements, Replay Baseball takes care of all that for you. They'll take into account the trades, the players that were sent down to the minors, those who came back up. So you don't have to worry about that. So you always have the latest players. And this is worth its weight in gold. And this saves me a whole bunch of time regarding having the most accurate 25-man roster. All right, let's get to the field. So today, again, we are playing. There we go. Today's game will feature the Baltimore Orioles traveling to Comiskey to face the Chicago White Sox. Let's look at the starting lineups. For the Orioles, Chico Carrasquel will play short and lead it off. Bob Boyd will play first. Gene Woodling in left. Gus Triandos is the catcher. Willie Tasby will bat fifth and center. Billy Klaus will be at third. Al Pilarczyk, batting seventh, will be in right field. Billy Gardner is a second baseman. And the pitcher is Billy Odell. For the White Sox, Luis Aparicio is a short. Nellie Fox is a second. Al Smith is in right. Sherm Lawler is the catcher, followed by Del Ennis in left. There was no card for R. Jackson. I don't think this was Randy Jackson, because there's Randy Jackson currently plays for the Cubs. So this is another R. Jackson. He didn't have a card, so we'll place Earl Torgeson at first base. Batting seventh is Jim Landis in center, followed by Bubba Phillips at third, and finally Dick Donovan. Okay, let's get to playing. So on the mound for the Chicago White Sox is Dick Donovan. Donovan on the season is 2-1 with a 3.47 ERA. And here you can see his real life numbers. It's such a great interface. Batting first is Chico Carrasquel, the shortstop. On the season, Chico Carrasquel is hitting so far .276 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Again, I'll be rolling offline, and you'll just have to trust me. Hey, it's just a game. So Carrasquel will promptly stroke a single to Del Ennis. So a single for Chico Carrasquel. Del Ennis picks it up, fires it in back to the infield, and Carrasquel is on. Batting second is Bob Boyd. Bob Boyd, .232, 1 home run, and 3 RBIs. Chico Carrasquel attempts to take the lead, and he can't. Bob Boyd at the plate. Bob Boyd grounds it to Earl Torgeson at first, who will fire it to Luis Aparicio and back to Earl Torgeson for the 3-6-3 double play. And here's how you score it. Right here, you have 3-6-3 double play. So Replay Baseball not only will take into account that Bob Boyd into a double play, but it'll also take into account the putouts and assists of the infielders. 2 out, nobody on for Gene Woodling. Gene Woodling on the season is hitting .233, off to a slow start with a 1 home run and 5 RBIs. And Woodling will ground it to the pitcher Donovan. Easy play, fires it to first for the 3rd out of the inning. Bottom of the 1st we go with Billy O'Dell on the mound. Billy O'Dell, yikes, he's 2-2 with an 8.22 ERA. He does have 2 wins, however. He'll face the leadoff hitter Luis Aparicio, slick fielding shortstop, who's hitting .269 on the season with 1 home run and 7 RBIs. All right, this will be an automatic out. Aparicio will ground it to Billy Klaus for the 1st out of the inning. 1 away for Nellie Fox. Oh, forgot to score it here. 5-3 right there. That's as easy as it is. Nellie Fox will step up to the plate. Nellie Fox, the second baseman, is hitting .263 on the season with no home runs and 2 RBIs. And Nellie Fox will draw a walk. So a 1-out walk brings up the right fielder Al Smith. Nellie Fox doesn't get the lead. Al Smith on the season is batting .250 and with 1 home run and 7 RBIs. Al Smith will line it to second, and quickly Fox scampers back to first base for 2 outs. So here it is. We scored very simply L4. Cleanup hitter and catcher Sherm Lawler. On the season, Lawler again is off to a ridiculously fast pace, hitting .424 with 5 home runs and 16 RBIs. And Lawler will hit a deep fly ball to Pilarczyk, who with a back to the warning track, and he gets it for the 3rd out of the inning. We have 1 complete, and we have no score. Batting for the Orioles is Gus Triandos. On the season, Triandos is hitting .246 with 7 home runs and 18 RBIs. And Triandos draws a walk. A 1-out walk. And we'll have Willie Tasby coming up. Tasby hitting .243 with 1 home run and 6 RBIs. Tasby will ground it to short. Let's see if Aparicio can turn 2. Aparicio over to Fox for 1, over to Torgerson for 2 for a 6-4-3 double play. That's the second double play for the Orioles in successive innings. Billy Klaus is up. Billy Klaus, the pride and joy of Spring Grove, Illinois, is hitting .375 with no home runs and 2 RBIs. This will be a tough chance for Bubba Phillips. Bubba Phillips boots it. So that's an error for Bubba Phillips, a 2-out error. So here's how we score it. E5. And Klaus reaches. The right fielder, Al Pilarczyk, is up with 2 out. He's hitting .190 with no home runs and 2 RBIs. Pilarczyk will line it to third to Bubba Phillips, who redeems himself for that previous error, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Excuse me. Bottom of the 2nd, we'll bring up Del Ennis. Del Ennis on the season. You see how earlier in the season, Del Ennis played for the Reds, and he moved on to the Chicago White Sox. Here is his combined average, .444, with no home runs and 5 RBIs, but he's hitting 2 for 4 so far with his new team, the White Sox. And Odell draws the leadoff walk. Ennis draws the leadoff walk. Earl Torgerson is up. Torgerson's batting .250, 2 for 8 so far in the early season. And Torgerson will hit a fly ball to Gene Woodling, not too deep, for the 1st out of the inning. Jim Landis will be the next hitter. Landis on the season, 1 home run, 11 RBIs with a .253 batting average. Ennis can get the lead. We have a ballpark check, and it's a fly ball to the other corner of the outfield. Pilarczyk is under it for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 out, 1 on for the 3rd baseman, Bubba Phillips. Bubba Phillips hitting no home runs, 4 RBIs with a .373 batting average. Again, a small sample size. In real life, he hit .264 for the entire season. Bubba Phillips will ground it to Billy Klaus, who goes the short way to Billy Gardner for the 3rd out of the inning. After 2 innings, we are scoreless. Top of the 3rd, Billy Gardner, batting .238, no home runs, 9 RBIs. Billy Gardner will strike out. Brings on the pitcher, Billy Odell, who's 0 for 5 this season. Billy Odell, this will be a shallow fly ball to the right fielder, Al Smith, who can't get it. And it gets by him for a double. How about that? A leadoff double for Billy Odell, the pitcher. Chico Carrascal is up. He singled and was doubled off in the 1st inning. Carrascal will 4, 6 will fly out to Del Ennis for the first out of the inning. A second out of the inning, I'm sorry. Billy O'Dell will stay put at second. Bob Boyd is up. Bob Boyd will hit the ball to the third baseman, Bubba Phillips, who fires it over to first for the third out of the inning. So Odell's leadoff double, one out double, was not able to get cashed in by the Orioles. Bottom of the third, Dick Donovan is hitting 125, and he did indeed get one home run in real life and has one so far this year. And Dick Donovan will strike out. One out for Luis Aparicio, who grounded to Billy Klaus his first time up. And that will be a walk for Aparicio. Aparicio, always a threat to steal. Let's see if he gets the lead. He does not. So a walk for Aparicio. And Nellie Fox. Nellie Fox singles past Bob Boyd. Rounding second and over to third goes Luis Aparicio, and the White Sox are in business with runners at the corners and one out for Al Smith. So Nellie Fox is not going anywhere. The Orioles will play at double play depth. And Al Smith will hit it to Carrasquel, who fires it to Gardner, over to Bob Boyd for the 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. That was clutch. So after 3 innings, we are scoreless. To the top of the fourth for Gene Woodling. Woodling is 0 for 1 so far in the game. Woodling will fly it out to right field. Al Smith has it for the first out of the inning. I'm keeping a score sheet on the side so I know, rather than flipping back and forth. I'll show you. If we go back to the box score, you'll actually see who hit what, but I want to give a little bit more description, and I want to say something like, now is Gus Triandos. He walked his first time up. So Gus Triandos will strike out. So second out of the inning for Willie Tasby, who ground into a double play his first time up. And Willie Tasby will strike out again. Second consecutive strikeout for Dick Donovan, which brings the third out of the inning. Bottom of the fourth, and we are scoreless. Del Ennis is Sherm Lawler, is the batter. Sherm Lawler had a fly out to Al Pilarczyk his first time up. And this is going to be a range play to left. Gene Woodling will he get it? So Gene Woodling is a 1. I rolled a 3. He did not. Let's see if he stretches into a double. No, Sherm Lawler makes a big turn and goes back. So that is a leadoff single for Sherm Lawler. So right here we score it. Single. Del Ennis, who walked his first time up. And Ennis will strike out. One out. Sherm Lawler is not going anywhere, which brings up Earl Torgerson, who is 0 for 1 with a fly out to left his first time up. Torgerson will hit the ball to right. Pilarczyk has it for the second out of the inning. 2 out, 1 on for the center fielder, Jim Landis, who is 0 for 1. And Landis will ground it to the pitcher. One hopper, underhands it to Bob Boyd for the third out of the inning. 4 are in the books, and we are scoreless. Dick Donovan starts his 5th inning of work. Let me show you how we look at fatigue. So those of you who are familiar with payoff pitch, and if you have Dick Donovan's 1959 card handy, you know that he could face 29 batters before he's fatigued. So if you look here, Dick Donovan, he's faced 14, so he has a ways to go yet. But this is how another absolutely fantastic feature. We can see the batters faced, and the fatigue. We're able to easily monitor the fatigue. All right, top of the 5th for Billy Klaus, who got on by an error by Bubba Phillips. So Billy Klaus will hit the ball to center field, Jim Landis, who makes the first out. Here we go, F8. And Al Pilarczyk is up. Pilarczyk lined out to Bubba Phillips his first time up. Pilarczyk will single past Nellie Fox. Pilarczyk is a threat to steal. He doesn't get the lead, unfortunately. So let me single. And Billy Gardner. Billy Gardner struck out his first time up. Billy Gardner will ground it to first. And it's a slow roller to Donovan. His only play is to first base. Over to second goes Pilarczyk. There he is at second base for Billy Odell. Odell hit that surprise double his first time up. And Odell smacks it over to first base, Earl Torgeson. Odell is literally walking to first, so plenty of time for Torgeson to take it himself to the bag. Bottom of the 5th, and we are scoreless. Bubba Phillips will single past Billy Klaus, which brings on Dick Donovan, who will be called on to bunt. And Donovan hits a good bunt. He bunts it to the pitcher. Odell picks it up. His only play is at first. Sacrifice hit to the pitcher. Bubba Phillips is in scoring position for Luis Aparicio, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. And Aparicio will ground it over to Billy Gardner. His only play is at first for the second out of the inning. Runner on third for Nellie Fox. And Nellie Fox will hit a high fly ball, a mile high, to center field. Willie Tasby is camped under it for the third out of the inning. What a great game. We are scoreless through 5. Top of the order for the Orioles with Chico Carrasquel, who's 1 for 2. And Carrasquel will ground it to Bubba Phillips, fires it across the infield for the first out of the inning, bringing up the first baseman, Bob Boyd. Boyd is 0 for 2. And Boyd, same thing. Same out. I'm sorry. He flies it out to Jim Landis for the second out of the inning. So F8. F8. There we go. Bringing up Gene Woodling. 0 for 2. And Woodling hits it to the pitcher, Donovan. Easy play And just like that, 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 6th we go. We're in a pitcher's duel, folks. Al Smith is the batter. Al Smith will fly to center field. Willie Tasby again. He's been busy out there. First out of the inning. Brings up Sherm Lawler, who's 1 for 2. So Lawler will draw a walk. No lead for Lawler. Del Ennis is up. And Ennis will ground it to second. The only play, it's grounded to Carrascal, who fires it to Billy Gardner over to first. Safe is Ennis. So Ennis is on a fielder's choice, and the way we scored is 6-4. 2 out for Earl Torgeson. Torgeson will fly to, guess who? Willie Tasby for the 3rd out of the inning. 6 in the books, and we are scoreless. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Orioles. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the White Sox. Top of the 7th, Gus Triandos. Triandos is 0 for 1 with a walk. Triandos grounds it to the pitcher, Donovan, for the 1st out of the inning. Willie Tasby is up. Tasby is 0 for 2, and Tasby will ground it to Nellie Fox. Fires it over to Torgeson for the 2nd out of the inning. Billy Klaus is up. Klaus is 0 for 2, and Klaus will fly to right to Al Smith. 3 up, 3 down again. And that's 8 in a row, and 11 of the last 12 retired by Dick Donovan. Bottom of the 7th, Jim Landis, Bubba Phillips, and Dick Donovan. And Jim Landis will fly it out to Pilarczyk for the 1st out of the inning. Bubba Phillips is up. He has one of the 3 White Sox hits. And now he has 2 of the hits as he promptly singles past Gardner into right field. There is no way that Dick Donovan will be taken out of the game, so we will be called on to bunt again. And he lays down another bunt. Also to the pitcher, Billy O'Dell. Forgot to put a single. And O'Dell sacrifices again. 2 out with a runner in scoring position again for Luis Aparicio. Aparicio will ground it to short. Carrascal over to Boyd for the 3rd out of the inning. We are scoreless. To the top of the 8th, Pilarczyk, Gardner, and the pitcher. And it's a range play. Nellie Fox. Can Nellie Fox get to it? Yes, he can. Nellie Fox has a range of 5. I rolled a 3 offline, so that's the 1st out of the inning for Pilarczyk. Billy Gardner, range play 2-5, fly out to Al Smith. Range to Al Smith. He's a 5. I rolled a 5 out. So fly out to Al Smith for the 2nd round inning. And Billy O'Dell is up. Billy O'Dell can face 30 batters before he is tired. Let's see how many batters he's faced. He's faced 28th. Again, this is 1959. Pitchers pitched all the time. Starters pitched in relief quite regularly. There is no way with a 4-hit shutout that Billy Odell will be taken out of the game. So Odell will hit a ground ball to Torgerson. Second time in a row that Odell grounds out to Torgerson. And that's the third out of the inning. What a game. Bottom of the 8th. We go. Forgot to rate it. Billy Odell, bottom of the 8th, will face Nellie Fox, Al Smith, and Sherm Lawler. And that's an automatic out, and that'll be a fly out to right field for Nellie Fox. First out. Al Smith is the batter. Al Smith is looking for his first hit, as are many of players in this game. Smith is 0 for 3. And Smith strikes out. Odell is stronger than ever. Sherm Lawler is up. Sherm Lawler also strikes out. And 3 up, 3 down. To the top of the 9th we go. Now there's a decision here to make. Dick Donovan, with 27 batters faced, he is fatigued. Again, following the spirit of 1959 with a shutout, there is no way he's coming out. So Carrasquel is up, and Carrasquel flies out to center field for the first out of the inning. Bob Boyd, 5-1, and Bob Boyd will pop it up to Nellie Fox for the second out of the inning. Again, we haven't seen scoring pop-ups. Again, pretty simple, P4, and we're done. Gene Woodling 0 for 3. And Woodling singles past the shortstop Aparicio into left field Del Ennis, who fires it back into the infield. And Woodling is on. The next batter is Gene Woodling. I'm sorry. No, Woodling got a single. The next batter is Gus Triandos. And Triandos strikes out. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Billy Odell will face Ennis, Torgerson, and Landis. Will we have some 9th inning heroics? Del Ennis flies out to right field for the first out of the inning, which brings up Earl Torgerson. And that'll be an automatic out, and that's a ground ball to Carrasquel for the second out of the inning. Nine, 6-3, good. Which brings up, looks like we are heading for extras, folks. And Jim Landis, sure enough, flies to Gene Woodling for the third out of the inning. To extras we go. Dick Donovan. Let's see. Donovan is due to hit second in the inning, so we'll keep him in. And Donovan will, with Tasby up, Tasby will fly to right. Al Smith has it for the first out of the inning. Billy Klaus is the next hitter. And Billy Klaus strikes out. 2 up and 2 down for Al Pilarczyk. Pilarczyk will fly out to center, Jim Landis, for the third out of the inning. To the bottom of the 10th we go. Same thing. I think we'll keep Billy Odell is batting second in the next inning. So again, Billy Odell will stay in the game. And Bubba Phillips will ground it to short for the first out of the inning. Dick Donovan will come out. Absolutely fantastic. And the pinch hitter will be, and you hear all the players in on the roster. So against the left-hander, Odell will bring in a right-handed batter and will bring in Jim Rivera. No, I'm sorry, Ray Boone. Where's Ray Boone? Here he is. Ray Boone will come in. Pinch hitting is Ray Boone. On the season, Ray Boone is hitting .320 with no home runs and 3 RBIs. Again, Billy Odell is fatigued. Ball one. Ballpark check 5-4, and that's a grounder to Carrascal for the second out of the inning. To the top of the order, Luis Aparicio. Aparicio will fly out to Gene Woodling for the third out of the inning. Top of the 11th. Who knew that in my inaugural game we were going to a scoreless game, 11 innings? So Billy Gardner is up, and the White Sox need a pitcher. So we click here and here. If the pitchers you see the Barry Latman is in red and Billy Pierce are in red. That means that they are an early win. That means they are not available to pitch at this time. So we'll bring in. The White Sox had a terrific bullpen. We'll bring in Jerry Staley. This is Staley's 8th game. He's 2-0 with 2 saves and a sparkling 0.84 ERA. He'll face Billy Gardner. And Staley will ground it to Nellie Fox for the first out of the inning. I'm sorry, Billy Gardner. First out of the inning. Billy Odell, 10 shutout innings. You can't ask for much more than that. He'll come out of the game for a pinch hitter. We'll bring in a left-handed bat, and we'll bring in Lenny Green. Lenny Green currently playing for the Orioles. He'll go on to play for the Washington Senators later in the season. And Lenny Green will ground it to Torgerson for the second out of the inning. Top of the order for Chico Carrascal, and Carrascal strikes out. To the bottom of the 11th we go. The Orioles will bring in, with Nellie Fox up, a left-handed batter. Let's see. But then a bunch of righties. I think they'll have no choice. So let me close this. I want to make sure I'm going to save this. I want to see who's pitching for the Orioles next game. So what I do is I go here and I see that the Orioles aren't playing on Monday. And on Tuesday, it's Jack Harshman. So I want to make sure that I don't use Jack Harshman. So I go back to my game. Resume. And I'll basically use anybody who's available to relieve except for Jack Harshman. So we'll use Billy Lowe's. Billy Lowe's, this is his 8th game, 1-0 with 2 saves and a 1.64 ERA. He'll face Nellie Fox. Hit by pitch chance, and he's plunked. Nellie Fox is on, and Al Smith is up. Al Smith will line it to short. Nellie Fox scampers back for, and that's the first out of the inning. Sherm Lawler is up. Sherm Lawler flies out to left for the second out of the inning. And Del Ennis finally 1-6. And Del Ennis will fly out to center field for the third out of the inning. To the 12th we go. No score. Bob Boyd. Bob Boyd singles past Aparicio. The leadoff hitter is on. Bob Boyd doesn't get the lead. And Gene Woodling, a possible error. It's a ground ball to Torgerson. Torgerson fires it over to Aparicio for one, and that's all they'll get. One out, and Gene Woodling is up. Gus Triandos, I'm sorry. Gus Triandos will fly out to left for Del Ennis for the second out of the inning for Willie Tasby. If you want to see what Willie Tasby is doing so far, Willie Tasby is 0 for 4. The runner on first, and Tasby will ground it to Jerry Staley for the third out of the inning. Bottom of the 12th. No score. What a game. The roll is 3-4, and Torgerson strikes out. Jim Landis is the next batter. That'll be a range play at the ballpark. And that ball will get by Woodling. And that's a double. A double for Landis. Bubba Phillips is the next batter. One out. And Bubba Phillips will fly to right. Jim Landis, the ball is deep enough and he'll move to third. And here's how we score this. We go to detail. F9. The runner on second base doesn't hold. He will be safe at third. So 2 out, and Jerry Staley has done his job. He'll come out, and let's see who will have a chance for ninth inning heroics. So we could conceivably put Johnny Romano in. He's a catcher, but there's a third catcher on the roster just in case Earl Batty. So we'll use Johnny Romano, get the best hitter in there, and let's see what he does. And Johnny Romano will fly to right, much to the chagrin of the Comiskey Park fans. To the 13th we go. And the White Sox will bring in another great reliever, and it'll be Turk Lone. If I can find his card, there it is. Turk Lone on the season. 9th game. 0-0 with 3 saves and an ERA of 7+ for Billy Klaus. Billy Klaus strikes out. Al Pilarczyk is up. Pilarczyk walks, 1-out walk. And let's see if Pilarczyk gets the lead. He doesn't. And Billy Gardner walks again. 1 out with 2 on. So Billy Lowe's comes out. And let's see who will come in as a pinch hitter. It'll be the left hand. Let's see, Lenny Green, Whitey Lockman. We'll bring in Bob Neiman. Bob Neiman will come in. Bob Neiman on the season, 220, no home runs and 4 RBIs. And Bob Neiman grounds it to second. The only play is a flip to the shortstop Aparicio for the second out of the inning. The runners are at the corners for Chico Carrascal. Here's his chance to be a hero. Carrascal will fly a deep fly ball to right field for the third out of the inning. Incredible game, scoreless to the bottom of the 13th we go. The Orioles will bring in Ernie Johnson. I believe Ernie Johnson will come in. Yeah, they'll trust Ernie Johnson to come in. So this is Johnson's sixth game. He has a 2-0 record with an ERA of 3.11. He'll face the top of the order and Luis Aparicio. Aparicio grounds it for the first out of the inning to the shortstop. Nellie Fox is the next batter. And Nellie Fox will pop it to the second baseman, Billy Gardner, for the second out of the inning. Just like that, 2 up and 2 down in the bottom of the 13th. And Al Smith hits a deep fly ball to Gene Woodling for the third out of the inning. To the 14th we go. 10 hits between the two teams. Turk Lone will face Bob Boyd. And Bob Boyd will fly to center. 1 out for Gene Woodling. Gene Woodling will walk. 1 out. And now Turk Lone is officially tired. He's faced 7 batters. He's officially tired. They'll keep him in. Gus Triandos is the hitter. And that's a fly out to center field for the second out of the inning. No stealing. 2-5, and that's another fly out to center fielder for Willie Tasby. And to the bottom of the 14th we go. Still no scorer. I believe this is the longest game I've had, and your luck, it's my first broadcasted game. I hope I haven't put anybody to sleep yet. I would appreciate any comments. That would be, let me know how I can improve this. But again, I thought I'd try a unique concept with having the game interface being PC Replay Baseball and using Inside Pitch in the background. Ernie Johnson is facing Sherm Lawler. And Ernie Johnson, and that's a fly out to Gene Woodling for the first out of the inning. Del Ennis is up. And Ennis strokes a double right by Bob Boyd into the corner. Pilarczyk gathers it and throws it in. And Ennis stops at second base. 1 out with a runner in scoring position for Earl Torgeson. And Torgeson will single the left. Del Ennis rounds it. Del Ennis needs so Del Ennis's base running is a 2. From second to home on a single is you add 1. That's 3. Gene Woodling's arm is a 1. We need a 4. I rolled a 2. And that's a single. And Ennis scores. And Earl Torgeson is the hero in the game. And right away, the walk-off single. And the game is over after 14 innings. And as you can see here, the Orioles and the White Sox tied. So when we go to exit and we come to the box score, you'll see the entire box score. You'll see the entire box score. Just a fabulous, fabulous interface. If you want to see the play-by-play, You click on play-by-play, and it'll have all the play-by-play. Again, a great interface. I want to thank you for this. Again, I appreciate any comments that you may have, and on to the next game.